Hey everybody, so I want to make a very good training on how to do a three-way introduction text message and what to do and what not to do. And one of the things that I just want to also share with you is, first of all, before you even consider building your national business in all 50 states, what is the bottom line? What are we marketing? Well, here's what we're marketing. I'm going to show you the visual. We're marketing this, okay? What are these? Well, this right here is the GHQCU, the collagen, okay? This is first month of a new batch of GLP-1 for me, okay? So first month, you get 3 months in advance. And I have glutathione, also an NAD in the refrigerator, but I just want to show you a couple. Okay, so when someone comes in as a brand partner and they don't have peptides, when they're not on something themselves, we lose everything as far as our story, our journey. And I really want to share this video, and I'm just going to be as direct as I can. I want to be as supportive as I can, as helpful as I can. But I also ask in return for everyone individually that's watching this. Obviously, you're already a brand partner, so I just want to say congratulations. We're so excited. I've been part of this industry for over 24 years, and we built teams of so many people all across the world, actually, in different organizations. I've never been more excited about this. But one of the big kind of frustrations that I have is a couple things. Two of my biggest pet peeves is someone signs up and they say, well, I don't have the money to afford to get on at least one peptide. Listen, if someone says, I don't have the money to afford it, they should not be signing up as a brand partner. As much as you might be like, well, Todd, they don't have the money, they're a single mom. I'm not trying to be a meanie, right? We have to set the bar. So if you were a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, are you just going to hire anybody and everybody because they give you a sob story of like, well, I'm a single mom and I have no money, but I have a burning desire and you should hire me? And sometimes that does work, and sometimes 100% that's true. But what I found is 99% of people who come in and say things like, well, I don't have the money, I'm going to have to wait weeks before I get pet. Listen, guys, they have the money. Okay, let me tell you something. They have the money. Just watch them on Facebook for the next week. They're going to be watching Netflix. They probably are the ones that post, hey, is him and her a good show? Or what do you guys think of this show? What's a good movie? Me and my wife are going to, watch TV all Saturday. I mean, we don't want to sign people up that are not willing to go on a health journey themselves. Because look, I'm 6'6", so obviously I'm sitting down, but I'm 6'6". I was 240. And then I got on this, okay? This is trizepatide. So I got on this and I went from 240 to 205, okay? Phenomenal peptide, okay? This is the godfather of peptides, and that's gonna be your GLP, GIP. So when someone is maybe even 20, 30, 40 pounds or more overweight, and they're saying to you, well, man, I don't have the money. Okay, and again, this is not so much the training, but I want to connect the dots here for each and every one of you. So when they say they can't afford it, what they're saying is, I don't want to lose the weight that I need, because if they're 28 BMI or higher, that means they're like, well, they're not looking at it correctly. So we have to literally encourage them, be like, well, wait, if you get on this and you stick to it for 90 days, your fat, visceral fat, BMI, everything is going to go down. You're going to lose weight. I mean, you know what happens when people lose weight? They're a lot less prone to cancers. They're a lot more healthy. They're a lot more happy. So this bottle right here in itself is the key, of course, through weightlifting, through eating right, through getting plugged into the educational series. This is the key for someone to actually start to share on social media and even in person or text message like, hey, here's what's happening to me. So what people are saying when they don't get on peptides, it's like, hey, my story doesn't matter. I was just talking to a brand partner. His name is Brennan. And we had this conversation and he's like, yeah, Todd, I don't get it, because everyone that I share the business with, they always ask me, what are you on and how's that been going for you? Now, you don't have to only get on GLP-1. You could be on semaglutide. You can get on any of the longevity. You can get on like this, the collagen, the peptide, the skin. And I'm going to put these down if you don't mind here. So I love this. So every time I get peptides in the mail, every time I order them, every time I take them or inject them, I love that. So again, I'm spending a couple of minutes on this topic because I want everyone just to understand you need to posture this opportunity as something very precious, something that's very high up. You're setting the standards. We all are setting the standards with a company that has already set a massive standard in the industry. So we own the telehealth network of all doctors. I mean, we're in control of that. We're not just saying third party. We really don't know what the doctors are going to say to you, like a lot of other companies might be doing even now. So we also have exclusive rights with Clover Pharmacy. So not only your GLP-1s, but all your longevity peptides are going to be, there for you under one roof, under one umbrella in Texas. And then when you order them, you can actually now track FedEx. You can literally see it, watch it like it's a game, like, oh, it's in Houston. Oh, okay, now it's in Florida. And you get it so quickly. I mean, I'm always getting it in 5 business days or less. So I just encourage you, if you're watching this as a brand partner, you don't have peptides, listen, you got to get on some peptides. You can't say, well, I don't have the money, because when you say that, what you're saying is, I don't really also want to make money. Because if you can find a way to get on the peptides, you're going to make money, because these flat out work, especially if you're on a GLP-1, because you can physically see results pretty quickly. Pretty much in your first 10 days or less, you're standing on the scale, you're going to see your weight go down. Obviously, it's not the magic potion. You still have to get on a good diet, you still got to weight lift, you still got to work out. But either way, even if you do just walking every day, you're going to see results, okay? You're going to physically feel the results more than any other peptide out there. So with that said, are we all in agreement that when we're out there with potential brand partners, we as business owners individually obviously have to go about with integrity? Now, we can't force people to get a certain peptide as well. We can encourage them, but we're not doctors. Some of you are actually, so if you are, that's great. Some of you are nurse practitioners, which a nurse practitioner can actually prescribe technically, but not that you're prescribing here, but you definitely can give your advice. And I can just share from my personal experience, hey, this is what's working for me. This is what's working for that. And that's why I love boards, because we can use other people's testimonials and stuff like that. But we just have to be careful. We're not trying to make people get something. They just have to get on something. Okay, I don't care if it's skincare, sexual health, longevity, or GLP-1, they have to get on something. Okay, so in order for you to not have to sell too much, in order for you to really be able to recruit brand partners, what I like to do is I like to break this down in a way that you can really understand it. So let's just pretend all of you are like brand new. And I don't care if you're a top leader in this industry for 20 years. I believe that we, including myself, can always learn from other people. So hopefully, even if you're an expert in this industry on the team, you're rocking and rolling, you're already doing 3-way calls, you're already doing that third party, there might be something that I say in this video that you're like, oh, wow, I should add that to it. Because iron sharpens iron, and I just love the fact that we can mastermind together, even on a recorded video. Not that this is a live call at all. That's why I like to do these a few times a week. Just text it out to the team, put it in the WhatsApp group, and just really be able to say, hey, whenever you get to watch this, and you can obviously go back to this and just master it. Because if you master what I'm about to tell you, your business is going to go through the roof as far as the building your team side. Now, the customer side, I'm going to make another video on that, how to get customers, how to actually get high PV, all that cool stuff. But today, let's talk about building a national team that duplicates. So let's talk about how to expose somebody. What is the definition of an exposure? Well, an exposure to me is taking a tool or resource like the 4.5-minute video that came out last week with Honey Sagari, and then I did an interview with her last year with Dr. Gershon, with Nathan and Janelle James, with Chris Casey, and you can get someone to watch the 4.5-minute video quick and then say, listen, okay, now watch what I'm about to say. So I call this the language of achievement. So if I'm going to give someone, if I want to expose someone into the business, it's obviously going to come to me in different ways, okay? So I might make a post on my Facebook, for instance, or an Instagram story, and it might say something like, wow, our peptide therapy company, watch what I just said there, our peptide therapy company, keyword, just paid out $30 million its first full year in business to our brand promoters. Does that make sense? I didn't say brand partners, I said brand promoters. Because obviously we all have an individual brand, and within our individual brand, like mine is definitely a brand, you probably have a brand, or if you have ever posted on social media, you have to kind of look, and maybe we can redefine that brand. But we're brand promoters. Yeah, we're brand partners. We're partnering up on the inside, but on the outside, people understand brand promoters. Okay, we're promoting something that is a established peptide therapy brand with LEMD. Okay, you guys follow me so far? So let's say I post that and someone inboxes me, wow, what's going on? Okay, because obviously the 30 million in commissions is a brand partner thing. Okay, brand promoter. So they're going to also be interested in the business. Obviously, they could be interested in obviously, they're going to be excited about the peptides as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to like, listen, absolutely, I'm so excited about this. So hey, do me a favor, do yourself a favor. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you, and this is me posturing it in a strength area. Because what you don't want to do is come from a place of weakness and you're shy and you talk too much or you're just texting. So let's say a person reached out to me on Facebook. I'm going to send them a voice message, okay? So what is a voice message? A voice message is on Facebook in your DMs or on your cell phone or on TikTok or Instagram. They all have it. Is I press the microphone, same as WhatsApp. Either I think you might need to hold it down on Facebook, but some of you could just press it and then just talk. So just play around with it. But I would say something like, let's say his name is Kyle. Hey Kyle, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for your message. I'm in the middle of it right now. Happy Monday. My phone is blowing up. I'm getting so many messages like this, man. I really appreciate you reaching out. One of the things I'm always going to ask people when they do reach out is because I don't want to sell anything to you. Would you be willing, if I sent you a 4.5-minute kind of trailer to the movie, would you be willing to watch it like right away? If so, let me know. Can everyone do that? Yes or yes? Of course. So I'm going to send that voice message. I'm going to send the 4.5-minute Honey Sagari kind of thing that she just came out with last week on YouTube. And then let's see what happens. So and now I'm only going to send it once that person responds back and says, oh, absolutely. Then I'm going to say, great, here it is. Okay, be prepared to be blown away. It blew me away. In fact, it's a little emotional for me, actually. And they're like, wow. So me just saying that, not giving too many details. So some of you are talking way too much. So you might say it's very emotional. Let me tell you why. Honey Sagari, single mom. Oh my gosh, you should hear her story of what happened 2 years ago. The company this, she created an elephant and the elephants no, listen, stop. Some of you are talking yourself out of the sale. So let's define sales, because a lot of times we hear these, it's kind of like confusing because a lot of times people will say, well, this isn't sales. You don't have to sell anything. Well, you do, okay? But let's define what you're actually selling in LEMD. Sales, the definition of sales is a transfer of enthusiasm. So when you're selling something, the best salespeople are transferring enthusiasm. So, and I'm just doing this little back thing I have on right now. Just getting it nice. My back's a little sore. Okay, so a transfer of enthusiasm. So here's what I believe. So first of all, going back to this. So am I passionate about being on peptides? Heck yeah. So when I'm talking about the business side, how we own the network of telehealth doctors nationwide, board certified, top doctors in the nation. Some of them are dermatologists. We're even more educated than regular doctors. They have 4 more years of school. I'm passionate about that. See, this stuff works. It goes right to the bloodstream. It's 100% pure, 503A pharmacy. We do it right. We're giving people the right, 90 days in advance, or they're getting 2 months in advance if they're doing like a GHQ, the collagen, or an NAD or a glutathione or a BPC 157, okay? So I'm passionate about that. I'm also, number 2, passionate about entrepreneurship. I've always been passionate about building teams, organizations, helping people grow, helping people make money, and positioning the right people in their area of expertise, influence, social media. So I'm passionate when I'm talking to people. But in this business model, if this business model was all about me and all about my skill set of how to share that transfer of enthusiasm to someone else, I'm going to be an epic failure, because people, even if they can resonate with me, if they like me, and they might even sign up with me, it's never going to duplicate. So I might recruit 10 people a month, 20 people a month. I might be honored every month. Todd Cahill, one of the top recruiters, congratulations, but I'll never be the top income earner if I don't understand duplication. So now I have an LEMD job that I'm just bringing on people, and then I can close them because I'm good. But then once that person comes in, they're like, well, I can't do what Todd's doing because he's basically just doing it all. I don't have the time. I don't have the commitment. I'm out, okay? And they're going to be out. And that's why a lot of times people do quit top leaders, because if you're even a top leader now in this industry, you understand that you can't be always the voice. You can't be the face of everything. So what I like to do is I like to understand what my role is. Okay, so in sports, you got a quarterback, you got a wide receiver, you got a tight end, you got the defense, the offense. Everyone has a role. Now, a quarterback is kind of like how we all are. So if you look at yourself as the quarterback of the organization, you're building the team, you're putting in the right people, and we got our CEO, we got our owner, which is Honey Sagari. We got a corporate staff or C-suite people. That's like the head of operations and stuff like that. But we are essentially the quarterback. and kind of like I to you would be like the head coach, right? So I'm coaching you, or your director and above is coaching you to be the best quarterback that you can be. So your job is to communicate with the team. All right, guys and gals, let's go. This is the play that we're running. So the play that we're actually running all the time is going to be, when it comes to building a team, is going to be exposure first, get them to watch the video, have them comment back. The second video is like, okay, what did you like best? So I'm always going to ask that person, hey, what did you like best about that 4.5-minute video? They're going to say whatever. I don't care what they say. I'm not interested in, I'm interested, but I'm not interested that much on whatever they say, even if they say, I hated it. I loved it. I hated it. Stupid. Amazing. I don't care. Here's what I know. I'm always going to say perfect. So whatever they say, even if they say, I hated it, perfect. I'm so glad you said that. I know how you feel. I felt the same way. What I found is I hated it too in the beginning. Here's what I found though. It was amazing. And here's what I want to do. I want to give you an interview, and then I'm leading them to the next tool. Does that make sense? So obviously, most people are not going to say, I hated it. But most people are going to say, man, I love it. I love the vision. She seems like a good woman. She seems like she's super smart. This is kind of cool. And then they're going to start kind of sharing, well, I've been on peptides for like a year. I've been on maybe Mounjaro or Ozempic, or maybe I've been thinking about it, whatever, right? Just listen. Just listen. And then whatever they say, just like perfect. So that's the key word. Don't say cool. Don't say, oh, that sounds good. See, that's the language of achievement. If you guys could just follow my lead on this, I just say perfect. I'm so glad you said that. Whatever they say, I know how you feel. Felt, found, know how you feel. I felt the same way. Here's what I found. So when I say, here's what I found, feel, felt, found, I'm kind of new. And I'm still really in training, and I love what I'm about to show you now. So if you actually watch the interview done by one of the top executives that leads me, I'm the quarterback, and he's kind of like the head coach here. You could check that out, even if it's the first 5 to 10 minutes, to get a little bit more of a scope about what we do as a business. I might be able to hook you up one-on-one on a call afterward. Does that make sense? Does that sound good? Yes, yes, yes. Get them to say yes. So what I would not do is say something like, would that be okay? Because you have a 50% chance of failure if you're asking point blank questions. And that leads me to like the third step. So that's step one, have them watch the 4.5-minute video. Step two, give them the podcast that I did with Honey Sagari or something of that caliber, like an overview, a complete overview. There's so many replays on that. I like the one that I did because you know me and you know some of the people that were in that, and you can actually make that introduction. And then the third step is that getting out of the way, and you're going to take that person and introduce them to your director and above in a text message thread where that person, your support team, is going to book a call with them and then kind of take it over from there. So that's really 3 steps to getting someone introduced to a third-party person. So one of the things I wouldn't do is say things like, so after they watch the webinar, again, you're going to follow up and say, hey, what'd you like best now? And then again, going back to perfect, I know how you feel, I felt the same way, here's what I found, I'm new, but here's what I like to do. I like to hook you up. So the person that you just watched, the host or whoever it is, I like to introduce you to them personally. Or I like to introduce you to someone that's a top executive, leading the national expansion, makes tons of money, just knows what they're talking about. It's blowing up right now. Here's what not to do. Hey, can I introduce you to a buddy of mine? Hey, can I introduce you to a friend of mine? She's amazing. Can I introduce you to a mentor of mine? Why not say that? What's wrong with saying mentor? Because if you look at the outside world, a lot of times mentors and coaches and teachers have kind of a bad rap in some people's memories of their past. It could be like a bad priest, a bad pastor, someone that really let them down. It could be a parent that was like supposed to be their mentor and they left, because of a divorce. So a mentor is not the key word you want to use. At this point, not that the word mentor is bad, it's just not the language of achievement that I would use, okay? So I would stay away from that. I would use words like, hey, I want to introduce you to one of the top executives. They're leading the national expansion. They're blowing up. They're so successful. They make tons of money. I mean, oh my gosh, the money's pouring in. And they're super fun to work with. They love helping people. See, that would be like if you're edifying me or your director and above support team that's very good at getting people started as a brand partner. So that would be the third step. And you want to edify that person on a voice message rather than a text. If you're on the phone with them, that's even better. You can give them a call and, hey, what'd you like best? Give me a call. Let's talk about it. And you're not saying too much, but that's always, so there's a thing called high touch versus high tech. So actually, or I should say high tech versus high touch. Let's reverse them. So high tech is what we've been doing. We're texting them, we're giving them technology, we're giving them tools and resources. That's high tech. High touch is a voice message, talking to them over the phone. Obviously, in person is the highest level of high touch. But the point is, you're not trying to be the ultimate high touch when you're working with a one-on-one potential prospect of your own. You're trying to get yourself out of the way, and the highest touch is that third-party source. So again, you're sending that text. So after you edify me or whoever it is, then you're like, okay, hey, Todd, this is Josh. Josh, this is Todd, the guy that I already told you about. So you're not embarrassing almost me and you by like edifying, oh, meet Todd, he's exceptional, blah, 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 blah. You know, like, because psychologically they might be thinking, how much is this Todd guy paying this guy to speak so highly of him, right? We don't want any weird feelings on that, right? So that's why you want to privately edify me or whoever your support team is before you make the introduction. And then once you make the introduction, you're just making the introduction. It's just a professional, hey, Todd, I've been talking about you to Josh. Josh, this is Todd, the executive that I was telling you about. Todd, I would love for you to connect with Josh and see if we can all get on a call together this week. I know that you have a link, so whenever you see this message and you get a chance, definitely be kindly enough to reach back out to us and send us your link. I'll make sure that we book a call with you. That is a proper introduction after you did the edification and you're doing a three-way call. Why, for me, you might say, well, I've been in this industry too. Why can't you just take a three-way call right now? Well, there's times that I could, but you know what? I think for me, it's like I don't want to be in a business where I'm always kind of at your beck and call and vice versa, because I just don't think it's fair, because sometimes I'm working out. So again, if I work out a certain time and people are like, Todd, right now I need you. The other thing is I don't work Sundays. I use it as a day of rest. I honor God, and I think we all should be doing that, especially if you're a believer. But you can text me Monday through Saturday. But again, I don't want to be like, oh, I need for you to do a three-way call and it's Friday night and I'm on date night or something. You know what I mean? So it works best for everyone too, because it actually looks more professional. So when you do a three-way text introduction, I'm gonna respond back 24 hours or less. Believe me, I'll probably do it within the first hour. I'm really good at responding back. So then I'm going to send, hey, nice to meet you, Josh. Pleasure. Oh my gosh, I heard a lot of great things about you. Here's my link. Go ahead and book a call anytime to your earliest convenience. Now, if I don't have a lot of spots left, like right now, I'll even just say, hey, what time works best for you? I got this time today or this time tomorrow. So I might even do something like that, where we just have to kind of write it down in my schedule if I have spots that are already pretty much all booked out, which is happening right now, which is a fantastic problem to have, right? So anyway, we'll figure it out and I'll make sure that I speak to your person. Now, if I'm way, way high and you got 5 directors between me and you shouldn't be using me. I mean, you should definitely go to your upline. I mean, we're going to break executive directors this month too. So, I mean, go to your best next option, because some of you might be 5, 10, 15, 20 levels deep from me. And obviously I can't just be doing everyone's introductions. But there's a lot of talent too, which is a great thing, because we're developing leaders here. Okay, so in closing, because I don't want to make this too long, in closing, I want you guys to understand what I started out this training with is you can't get passionate unless you're already on your health journey. You can't build a business unless you share on social media your health journey. People, you're not going to attract. Attraction marketing is actually, especially with integrity, is doing what you're actually saying you're doing. So again, you're going to make so much money by getting on one peptide. So again, if someone says, well, I don't have the money, well, think about all the money you are going to make. So think about if you start like a traditional business, like a washing machine company, you know, it's about $100,000. A car wash, which I'm looking into one right now that I want to buy in Florida. I mean, that's residual income. That's going to be, you know, anywhere from $100,000 to $250,000. Great residuals on those, especially in Florida. All we're asking you is spend $26 and a $5 tech fee and maybe $100 to $200 a month for 2 or 3 months. I mean, guys, again, if someone can't do that, they're not an entrepreneur. I don't want to work with them. And again, it's not like I'm trying to be a jerk or anything. Entrepreneurship is just not for everybody. I mean, I would say it's about 30% of people in America. So that means 3 out of 10 people are entrepreneurs, 7 out of 10 aren't. So 7 out of 10 are going to know the crap out of you. They're 9 to 5 people. They're going to give you every excuse in the book. They have no idea what being an entrepreneur looks like. They don't have no they only have discipline if they're on a salary. You know, but if you're not on a salary, 3 out of 10 people are the only ones that get it in this country. Like, no one's making me do this video, but it's intentional. I'm like, okay, well, there's a void in the team because some people are still not getting this. And I'm so tired of one-on-one teaching people this concept of that 1, 2, 3 step that I share with you on how to get yourself out of the way. So why don't we just make a video? Like, no one's telling me I got to do this. My support team's not saying, Todd, make a video. Like, I'm intentional. And very few people have that. I think I don't know if you can learn that. I really don't. I mean, certain things as a leader, like, it's just there. Like sometimes we are born as leaders and sometimes we can develop into a leader. So it's both, but certain things people just don't have. I mean, not everyone can be Michael Jordan and go to the NBA, or not everyone can play golf. Not everyone can be good at pickleball. I mean, I don't know. So hopefully you're one of those people. Now you can develop with hard work, and anyone can be a great entrepreneur. Don't get me wrong. I mean, that's the good news, is you don't have to be born into it. You don't have to be born a leader. I mean, it's great if you are, but you still, like Kobe Bryant had skill, Michael Jordan had skill, but they worked so hard on the skill because they had talent, they had height, they had strength, they had big hands, they had all the right features of a pro basketball player, but they were shooting 1,000 shots a day, every day, nonstop for years and years. They would show up early, stay late, do more suicides, do more, cardio, weightlifting, have a trainer like Tim Grover. Like, those were the development of Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant to be the greatest of all time. So if you have that inside of you of like, okay, I'm looking at Todd as my Tim Grover. I'm looking at my support team as my Tim Grover, my strength and conditioning coach. The guy and gal is going to help me get over the edge, help me to become a better entrepreneur, help me to become more consistent. And every day I'm just going to be consistent. And I'm going to understand like what we have here is very precious. It's very special. It's not going anywhere. We're established. We've already broken so many records. We already have a great C-suite staff, great customer service now. Like, we're almost 2 years old. We have our first national convention at the beginning of June this year. This is the time to grow, and this is the time to explode your business. But you're never going to build a team if you don't follow what I just said in the past 26 minutes. So as long as you take this video, watch it over and over again, practice, almost like pretend you're an actor. This is your script. Get down the right language, look sharp, present yourself with posture instead of this, I don't know what I'm doing. Have some confidence when you do it. But again, learn how to do this and then start introducing us to me and your leadership, and we're going to knock it out of the park for you. I mean, you do 5% of the work, I'm going to do 95% of the work. Same with your support team. But you got to make sure that, when I get on a three-way, kind of call with somebody or a book call, and I ask them, hey, what did you like best about what you saw? I haven't seen anything. That is your gosh darn fault. If I'm on a call these days with someone that they haven't watched the 4.5-minute video and you're just so anxious just to get out of the way, you're doing everyone a disservice. You're doing me, them, and yourself a disservice, because now I'm like a salesperson. Now I gotta like be Honey Sagari, I'm like, oh God, like here we go. I don't even know where to start. So I almost say, hey, I can't talk to you then. You need to hang up this phone, book another call, and watch the 2 videos. Like, that's where I'm gonna be, because I've already made this training so many times. Like, you got to get people to watch something first, set me up for success, and boom, I'm going to knock it out of the park for you. And 90% of the time, I'm going to close these brand partners for you. But you have to follow the protocol. You can't be so excited just to get out of the way. Just, I'm going to throw it on Todd or throw it on my support team. It's rude. It's just not going to be good. They're not going to sign up. They're going to be like, well, I'm going to think about it. I'm going to do some research, because they think they have to be like me. But you can remind them, hey, watch what I'm doing with you, because this is all we're requiring. Get people to watch a video. You're a promoter, the art of promoting. You're going to get out of the way. Then you're going to get someone to watch maybe a podcast or a little bit more information about the business side. Great. Then I'm going to introduce you to someone that's going to walk you through everything, not me. I'm going to be on the call. I'm going to listen, and that's all you got to do. Now people's light bulbs are going off and saying, I can do that. I think I can do that. And I feel comfortable doing that to my friends, family, neighbors. So guys and gals, this is how you build a business. Now, you don't have to do this with customers, and I'm going to make a separate video there soon about how to just get a lot more PV and how to get a lot more customers and what are some hacks and how to use social media and get a bunch of customers only, because we need both sides of the fence. This is not just recruit only, but when it comes to leverage, when it comes to financial freedom, when it comes to when you absolutely are making both sides of the fence on the PV side and the DV side, the downline volume, you got to do exactly what I'm teaching you right now. So thanks so much for watching. Let's be masters at getting ourselves out of the way and using third party properly with the proper language and doing it correct. Thanks so much.